Hey beauties, it's your girl B, and I am back with another long-awaited product review. So I get questioned all the time, like, what's in your pro kit? What's in your bridal kit? What are the products that you absolutely love? So I decided to put together about maybe 3 videos today. I'm just going to release them anywhere between Wednesday and Friday of this week. So my first one is a fairly new product for me. I've only had it for about 3 weeks. I did post it on Instagram and Twitter as one of the new products that I recently purchased, and that is the Mehron Cream HD palette. So I've been using it in the studio and on location on like various models, boudoir shoots. Of course, you know I work with Dollface, and also on some like bridal trials. I really like how those went. This past Saturday, which was like July 6th, this was my first time putting it in my bridal kit. So I took it out, wedding party of like 11 people, and yeah, I have a lot to say about this product. So let's just jump into the review. This is the Mehron HD palette. Okay, so here it is. It has 12 colors in it, and here's the back. And it is part of their Celebre Pro HD. This, just from the very beginning, the texture, the consistency of it, it really did remind me of, you know, a Graftobian Glamour cream. I've been using Graftobian Glamour creams for about maybe 3 to 4 years now, and it is still one of my favorite concealers, foundation, contour, highlight, corrector, everything. I absolutely love everything about the Graftobian Glamour cream. Now, with that being said, let's just talk about packaging. I am so not a fan of this packaging. I was so worried traveling to the bridal party with this. I was so scared that it was going to get crushed. Depending on your kit, you may not have to worry about that, but my kit is actually like my makeup case is really like soft. So like I was really worried about this, and even still with being in the studio and just storing it, I feel like I'm always making sure that I'm not putting anything on top, because this is not like a Z palette. This is pretty, you know, flimsy. This is just a little flimsy piece of plastic, and I'm just like, okay. And if I push down too hard, it actually goes into the product. So the packaging is a con for me. As far as the product goes, the coloring in it, of course, you know, it comes with cool and it comes with warm tones. This actually matches a lot of people. It blends beautifully, so I can, like, you know, scrape a little bit here and there, mix whatever color I need. I really like that about it. As far as going onto the skin, or better yet, let's go back to the product itself. One thing I will say about this palette is that how it looks in the pan is actually not how it shows up. Like, I know I'm getting this at all types of angles, I'm so sorry. It actually comes across lighter than what it actually shows up at. Like, for instance, if you look at this particular color here, which is the dark number 4 in the Mehron, it looks like milk chocolate. Like, it looks way lighter than what an actual dark color should look like, but it's actually not. I have my spatula here, and I'm just gonna grab some of it and put it on the back of my hand. It's actually really dark. Like, I don't know if you can see that. It's really dark. So it actually, the name matches what's going to show up on the skin, but it actually looks kind of caramel toned when it's in the packaging. And it's like that in this palette. It's like that in Mehron's other palette. It's like that when you buy it individually. I actually don't know why it shows up lighter in the packaging than what goes onto the skin. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Another thing to remember with this is that, I don't know if it was just me, I think it was just me. I had a little bit of an issue when blending. Like, I had to find the right tool to blend it with, and I guess that's kind of with any product, but I have a couple of things that I usually use. So this Essence of Beauty, I have like 4 of these. I absolutely love them. It is the foundation and the concealer brush, the, you know, whatever. This, put this on the skin, awful. It was a whole hot, streaky mess. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, but of course I used it on myself first, so thank God for that. I'm glad it wasn't a client. So having like, I guess, I don't know if it was synthetic, because the rest of my brushes are kind of synthetic. But after trying out a couple brushes, I did find what I personally like the best. Of course, I used the primer on the skin, but my 3 top brushes for putting this on is my Max Coverage concealer brush, and this is made by Bare Essentials. The next brush that I really got damn near airbrush finish with was the Millennium Tools, and this is the dual fiber number 953. So that's that one. And I just used like circular buffing motions, and I absolutely love how it came out. And the last brush was a real surprise to me. I bought this at the craft store. I actually don't know why I bought it, only because I'm just attracted to brushes. And it had like a really kind of funky purple handle. And this is the Low Cornell number 270, and this is Maxine's Mop. And I know YouTube gurus since forever has been using the Low Cornell brushes. This particular brush I had found, I use it in a sideways, like this, just to brush it. It fits so perfectly underneath the eye, and you bring it down, and it just creates the perfect triangle, the perfect highlighting triangle. I absolutely adore it. So I'm going to show you with this particular brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the cream and just put it right here on the back of my hand. And it's a little lighter so you guys can see. So hopefully the camera is picking this up. And it just, look at how that blends. It just blends out into the skin ever so fabulously. And I'm using like a back and forth halfway circular motion. And that's pretty much it. So there it is. This brush has got to be my favorite brush to blend this with, to the point where I have to go to the craft store and buy about 3 or 4 more of these brushes. I want to say they were like $4, so totally affordable. And look at the finish. This is without powder. This is without anything. I absolutely love the way this blends into the skin. For the bridal party this past Saturday, I only used it as like a highlighting concealer and maybe a little bit of contouring, but that was because this particular bridal party was getting airbrushed. So I used it kind of like as more of a concealer than I would a foundation. But on several of the clients that I've had since I purchased this, I've used it all over their face. So that's why you see a couple of the shades. Actually, this one is the dark number 3. And I know it looks like really dark, but it's not. It has this gorgeous, like, not quite chocolate, and it's not quite warm undertones, and it's not quite cool undertones. It's more of a neutral undertone to it. It is the most gorgeous contour, like absolutely hands down. I love it. I absolutely love. This is the dark number 3. Yeah, so I got amazing results with it. I think with trial and error, I personally had to find the right brush that worked for me, but now that I've actually found it, so like this is my number 1, this is definitely my number 2 brush, and the Bare Minerals, I love this concealer brush just in general, so this is like my number 3 brush. So between these 3 brushes, all over the face, absolutely gorgeous. Highlight, contour, conceal, whatever you need to do. I will say this, I used 2 products to finish this particular product with. I went with the Ben Nye, this is the press, is this the press? Yeah, this is the press color palette, and this is the Bella In Love. I'm actually about to do a review on these, a detailed, proper review. But I am absolutely in love with this palette. So this is the Bella palette, and as you can see, it has 8 colors, and this is all I use to set it. I typically use a mineralized skin finish, but I didn't like the way, I don't know, it was as if the coloring in the mineralized skin finish kind of like conflicts with The other product, only other product that I used to set the cream foundation, concealer, whatever, was my Avon translucent powder. I actually don't think that Avon gets enough credit, because this translucent powder, it has kind of like a, I don't know, I guess off-white tint to it, but it's really, really sheer. It's really fine. I love how it goes onto the skin. But yeah, this is, and in particular, this is the Ideal Shade Loose Powder. And I know you're looking at all of my labels that are going on, and that's because I've never met a label maker that I didn't love. And also because I'm typically looking down into my palette, well, into my makeup case, so I need all of my labels facing up, so that way I don't have to like look for what it is. So that is that, and this is by Avon. So that is pretty much it. I have links in the description bar to my blog, and that will have all the detailed information of where to buy, a little bit more on the pressed color palette. It'll have detailed photos for you. And as always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. If it's anything that you want me to review in particular that you've seen me post on Instagram or use in a previous video, of course, let me know. So this is the first review in, like, I guess my pro kit review series that I'm trying to do. Yeah, so hopefully you like it, and stay tuned for more. Thanks, beauties.